of course, is that you say the North will buy into this idea of one term. No, the North will not. I call this gambits about serving food, carrying plates, and doing boy at parties that could be better organized by events.
This. If you say you want to contest one term, that is your own idea. That is your own opinion. You are entitled to it. In Nigeria and in some African countries, where elections are deemed not to be free and fair, that's where you have all these unnecessary arguments. Why did I say that? Even abroad, you're not sure, even when you're an incumbent, whether if you contest, whether you will win. That is where you will know that your term of office is not 8 years, it's not 2 terms, it's 1 term. So you ought not to.
Rubben Abbati, the media archie, and hungry media archie. Prove that fools also grow old. Abati, do your work and shut up your mouth. Those of una when of you win on a polling unit.
Hi guys, I hope this video finds you well. Yesterday, Dr. Rubben Abbati, he made his silly statement against His Excellency Peter Obi. Two statements he made. Two phrases I want to draw from the statement he made. One, he said Peter Obi, picking plate from a party and all, his sign of desperation. Him saying he want to do 1-term ticket, his sign of desperation. To be honest, sometimes Dr. Rubben Abbati always sound very, very sarcastic. Please, guys, patience, okay? Because I have some bullets to use to respond to him. Just take a look at few seconds of the video, okay? The video is not less than a minute. Take a listen at it. And after taking a listen, I'm going to show you the next video I'm going to be watching is a short clip of Peter Obi serving people at his own house, okay? After that, I will come back and release another bullet of Mama P, another bullet of Kenneth Okonkwo to him. This video is too sweet. I beg, like this video and please share it.
That's your point about platform. That has to be resolved. But I'm saying that any politician that comes to you and says, I'm going to do only 1 term, that's a sign of desperation. It will not work. Just like all these gambits about serving food, carrying plates, and doing boy at parties that could be better organized by event organizers, it's also a sign of desperation. It doesn't work. It will never work. And then the second challenge, of course, is that you say the North will buy into this idea of 1 term. No, the North will not. Because the civil war in this country has never ended. I don't believe that Northerners who are already aggrieved with a Yoruba president will just shift and embrace the possibility of an Igbo president. There are contradictions in this country that have not been sorted out. We should lay the emphasis on competence, ability. If the Nigerian people are politically educated to a point where they can vote for a competent person, regardless of where it comes from, regardless of his religion, that's when this country will begin to move forward. So all this, I will do 1 term, I will serve you food, I will give you agbado. No, please, that's not going to work, in my own opinion. I don't know whether you disagree.
Well, I mean, competence, integrity.
I don't see this one way happen. I'm telling you this man because we're in the room and all of us are family. That's why I call this. So now, I mean, on our guy, if you all you need to do is to invoice with the other and tell you that you're born. No, you go your work day. It was lost again for.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You are taking this cover.
Rubben Abbati, the media archie, and hungry media archie. Prove that fools also grow old. Abati, do your work and shut up your mouth. Those of una when of you win on a polling unit, when one use Peter Obi and I'll Google Q now. Rubben Abbati, do your work and shut up your gutters. I went through your profile, see your children there abroad. Now why you they feed the talk? Your wife yellow now so her skin they never said they follow us by only 28 stars and your prick for not they feed the rice for that rice. Rubben Abbati, do your work and shut up your mouth. Leave Peter B alone. Buy and nanga, go and take care of your 6 sons. Person say one do 1 term, all of una 1 term. Una Bcos flash for grant. Peter B here, Peter B there. Are you people now seeing the state of the country? Are you people now seeing the state of the country that you have decided to use Peter B as your top pick? You all are shameless and jobless. You all are proofs that fools grow old too. Tinubu, hold your door. give you. Useless people. Our generations face this country. And now we are trying to fix it. You people are trying to sabotage our... Wow. I'll Google for me. This one say Peter Abi say he did not break promise. Sure, he broke his promise. Did he not lift up God? Secrets, people. Goats, Nigerians, be aware. They've even entered Instagram now. I'm seeing so many comments, all of them fake pages. Idiot. That is why they did DIG Summit. That is why they gathered social media influencers just to come online and tarnish the image of Peter Abi and whitewashing the image of Tinubu. One would have thought that after such a media summit, we will be seeing the works of Tinubu. Then we say, oh, Tinubu work no they show for internet. Let's help him. They have nothing to show. No working. This media, contain we and una. Trenches, tag them. Tag all of them. Give me a go reach. We go start on the reports on our account. Yes, country scatter. But Peter Abi is the topic. He share food on one side. The devil will share food for all of you. Now see crack crown. Now see that. Now that day that they tag by your non-nigga pikin. I they shake my head. I they throw away spits. I said, let me get this guy pikin. I'm not going to talk for social media. I'll be working day and night to revamp him. Why will you focus when Peter Abi is your new child? Oh yeah, carry on now. People will not give us good governance. You will need to shut up. You will all need to shut up. It's either good governance or nothing. No other conversation. One of the idiots where go media summit. He bet wash for waste. You can imagine what they are doing with the lives of our youth. He bet wash. He bets be like wasting they say they commit suicide. Now in the go media summit with Tinubu. We come now and sell your mandate. We shall for you all we fall.
Let's get it started. This one-term thing. Why are people taking it with a pinch of salt? Because if the politicians themselves are knocking this, are they almost indicting themselves by saying that don't ever believe what we tell you on our campaign trail because we do not mean what we say? If they are saying that this is political theatrics to probably just get himself into power, are they all indicting themselves, talking about all the politicians and the political parties knocking this down?
Well, thank you for inviting me, and thank you viewers for joining us. First and foremost, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria made it clear. In section 135, subsection 2, and section 180, subsection 2 of the Constitution is very clear. The term of a president or a governor is 4 years. 4 years. The Constitution was direct. He said the president, after spending 4 years in office, vacates his office. At times, politicians behave as if they don't have any job. So when somebody says he's going to spend only 4 years, he simply stated a constitutional provision. But here is just a little addition. The Constitution says you are no longer qualified to contest if you have contested for that position twice in previous elections. And this is by section 137, subsection 1B, and section 187, subsection 1B. So the issue here is this. If you say you want to contest one term, that is your own idea. That is your own opinion. You are entitled to it. In Nigeria and in some African countries, where elections are deemed not to be free and fair, that's where you have all these unnecessary arguments. Why did I say that? Even abroad, you're not sure, even when you're an incumbent, whether if you contest, whether you will win. That is where you will know that your term of office is not 8 years, it's not 2 terms, it's 1 term. So it ought not to even be a point of argument. Because even if you're an incumbent, if you recontest, you can fail. The only thing the Constitution says is that if you fail 100 times, if you have not been elected twice, you are still qualified to be governor or president. So for me, I do not see any issue whatsoever, except, like you said, distrust of themselves, and 2, because of the belief that there is no free and fair election. If there is free and fair election, then the issue of 2 term, 8 years will not arise. But here is another issue. Because of our rotational arrangement, which has this proposition of 8 years for South, 8 years for North, politicians now do not want to place themselves in a disadvantaged position. Because 4 years having been taken by a Southern politician, if you are a fresh politician and you want to do another 8 years, you will know that you are dead on arrival. So it's a political strategy on its own for you to accede that you will do 4 years. It is not because the politician did not want to do 8 years, no. But he knows that he has only 4 years left from the southern, remaining term. But here is another issue. By agreeing you will do 1 year, you do 4 years. You have also agreed that if there is any other northerner that say he will do also 4 years, then both of you are at the same level of equity, because there would be no injustice either section. So there's nothing wrong in a party, for instance, especially an opposition party that doesn't have an incumbent, saying in order that Nigerians will be free to trust them, that they are going to have a transitional government whereby whoever is going to contest would have to agree to do 1 term and do not exercise his constitutional rights to recontest. A party can do that, so that whether they present a candidate from the north or from the south, the Nigerians from either section will not feel that they have been betrayed or an injustice meted out to them. For instance, if a northerner wins in another political party and commits to do 4 years, then what it means is that the south and the north has shared for 4 years, like they did during the Yaradua Goodluck Jonathan period, and there will be no injustice. So there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that ought to raise concerns or arguments. But like you said, a man who kills by the sword does not like people to wave sword at his back. So politicians have made themselves very untrustworthy, so they go the extra mile to prove themselves when they make any proposition.
All right, Mr. Okonkwo, that's noted. A lot of people might have focused on the what in terms of what was said, but you've drawn some focus to the why this move might have been made in terms of the rotational arrangement and being a political strategy. But let's look more, examine at the why a bit closer. Do you think there are any personal reasons that might not be overt for this declaration being made by the aspiring president of Nigeria?
No. It's purely a political strategy. There is nothing hidden about it, because every politician would want to complete his 2 terms if he has the opportunity. But of course, if this were 2023, the same politician and presidential candidate or aspirant would not make the same promise. Like I said, as it stands today, a southerner has taken 4 years. So it will be political suicide for you to come and say you want to do 8 years. Nobody will vote for you, not even from south or from the north. So it is purely a political strategy, nothing else. Anybody telling you because he wants to be like Mandela or want to be like this, no, that's not true. But again, the person may want to tell you that just for you to believe he will do 4 years. He may want to tell you that he can still achieve his basic objectives within 4 years, just to encourage you to know that he is serious in not trying to exercise his constitutional right to recontest election. So there is nothing beyond political strategy. That's what it is.
All right, some political scientists will usually say that we missed a major turning point in our national democracy, whereby we did not see through that particular law or that particular policy that would have become law, whereby it would have been 1 year, 6 years. Do you think Nigeria would have been better off if we had decided to go down that road than trying to do 2 terms or maybe of 8 years?
Now, from day one, from 1999, I have been in support of 1-term presidency, 1-term executive tenure. And the reason is very clear. The issue of 2 terms have introduced a whole lot of politicization of Nigeria, which leads to division and balkanization, which leads to the elites manipulating the followership with religious and ethnic bigotry that is non-existent amongst them. The reason is this: all this issue of whether the president should appoint the INEC chairman will disappear on its own when you have 1-term presidency, because no president will now be able to appoint any INEC chairman that will supervise his own election. If you do 8 years of 2 terms, you don't have 2 years for yourself as a president, because you will use it politicking. So eventually, you will spend state resources, you will spend state time, you will spend the bureaucracy of state for politics. 1-term presidency will first and foremost secure the issue of rotation between north and south, and you can now make it constitutional, and it will not be breached because you just have 1 term. And when it is 1 term of 6 years, you have nothing to lose if it is 2 terms of 8 years, because you, from the one when you settle in, it is for legacy. Haven't you noticed that every president in power is always reluctant to sign electoral reforms in his first term in office. The reason is because he wants to use the jaundiced Electoral Act to rig his own election before, when he wins the second time, when he does not have any other attempt to contest for, he will not be willing to sign Electoral Act or even constitutional amendment that would take us forward. So, but if it is one term, from day one, the president that is coming in is willing and bold enough to sign every legacy legal reforms that would have made us to be in the first superpower nation by now. Honestly, we don't have any need for 2 terms of 8 years. 1 term of 6 years would have been ideal. I supported it from 1999. I've been writing an article about it. It's quite unfortunate because since we don't have free and fair election, that is another way to push us closer to free and fair election, because no president will be willing to have his legacy soiled internationally and nationally that he is an election rigger. So if he's not going to be the one supervising his own election, our election will get cleaner and cleaner until we get to the best time. Our economy will get stronger and stronger because he comes in immediately and he will not talk about using the resources for politics, but using it for development, because he cannot use it for his own election. So it is all good, 1 term, politically, socially, economically, and otherwise. And everybody should please work hard so that we can have it.